numbers, equations, geometry. Math is the language of logic. In this episode, we'll break down key mathematical terms from fractions to calculus. With definitions, examples, and images, let's explore the world of mathematics. Arithmetic is noun. The basic mathematical operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The branch of mathematics dealing with the properties and manipulation of numbers. Advanced mathematical concepts often build upon the principles learned in arithmetic. Business professionals use arithmetic to analyze financial data and make informed decisions. The ancient Egyptians developed arithmetic techniques to perform calculations for construction and commerce. In elementary school, students learn arithmetic skills such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Arithmetic is fundamental to everyday tasks such as budgeting, shopping, and measuring. Mean as verb, to have as a purpose or intention, to intend or plan to do something, to intend to convey or indicate, to signify or denote. Their actions meant well, even if the outcome was not as expected. What does this symbol mean in the context of the equation? His silence meant that he disagreed with the proposal. She didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It was just a misunderstanding. The gift meant a lot to her, as it symbolized their friendship. Median as noun. A strip of land with trees or shrubs planted along its center, dividing a road. The middle value in a set of numbers when they are arranged in order. She lives in a neighborhood with wide streets and tree-lined medians. The survey calculated the median age of the respondents to be 35 years old. The median income represents the income level at which half of the population earns more and half earns less. The highway had a grassy median separating the lanes of traffic. In the set 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, the median is 5. Fraction as noun. A numerical quantity that represents a part or proportion of a whole, typically expressed as one number divided by another. A small or partial portion of something, especially when compared to the whole or the total amount. She sold her shares for a fraction of their original value, realizing a significant loss on her investment. The politician won the election by a fraction of the votes, securing a narrow victory margin. Only a fraction of the population was able to attend the event due to limited seating capacity. The company's profits increased by a fraction compared to the previous quarter, but it was still a positive sign of growth. He ate only a fraction of his meal, leaving the rest untouched on his plate. Deduct as verb. To derive by deduction, to infer, to subtract or take away an amount or part from a total. Based on the evidence, we can deduct that the suspect was at the scene of the crime. Please remember to deduct the shipping costs from the final payment. The tax preparer will deduct any eligible expenses from your taxable income. The store will deduct the discount from the total purchase price. You can deduct the mileage traveled for business purposes from your taxes. Trigonometry as noun. A branch of mathematics that deals with the relationships between the angles and sides of triangles, especially right triangles. The study of trigonometric functions and their properties, including sine, cosine, and tangent. The trigonometry formulas provided a solution to the geometry problem. Students learn about trigonometry in high school as part of their mathematics curriculum. Trigonometry allows astronomers to calculate distances between celestial objects. Trigonometry is often used in navigation, engineering, and physics to solve problems involving angles and distances. The architect used trigonometry to calculate the dimensions and angles of the building's roof. Cryptography is noun. The art or science of secret writing or communication, typically through the use of codes or ciphers. The practice or study of techniques for secure communication and data protection in computer and information systems. During wartime, cryptography plays a crucial role in transmitting classified information securely. Cryptography is a fundamental component of cybersecurity, helping protect sensitive data from unauthorized access. Many messaging apps employ end-to-end encryption, a form of cryptography, to ensure private conversations. Cryptography is used in digital signatures to verify the authenticity and integrity of electronic documents. The history of cryptography dates back to ancient civilizations, where techniques such as substitution ciphers were used to encode messages. Median as adjective, relating to or characteristic of a median strip or median line, situated in the middle or center. The house is located on a median street, halfway between downtown and the suburbs. The researchers analyzed the median price of homes in the area. She planted flowers along the median strip to beautify the roadway. The median nerve runs through the forearm and hand. The median income for the region has increased over the past decade. Theorem as noun, a fundamental principle or law, especially in mathematics or logic. A statement or proposition that has been proven or deduced through logical reasoning. The fundamental theorem of calculus establishes a connection between differentiation and integration in calculus. Euler's theorem in graph theory provides a formula for the relationship between the number of vertices, edges, and faces in a planar graph. Pythagoras' theorem states that in a right-angled triangle, the square of the length of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the lengths of the other two sides. Fermat's last theorem remained unproven for centuries until Andrew Wiles provided a proof in 1994. The central limit theorem is a fundamental concept in statistics, stating that the distribution of sample means approaches a normal distribution as the sample size increases. Fraction as verb, to divide or break something into smaller parts or segments, typically into equal or proportional portions. To separate or split something into fragments or pieces, often as part of a larger process. She carefully fractioned the dough into equal portions before placing them on the baking sheet. To ensure fairness, the judge fractioned the estate among the heirs according to the terms of the will. The software program allows users to fraction images into individual pixels for editing and manipulation. The river's current fractioned the log into smaller pieces as it flowed downstream. The company fractioned its budget allocations among different departments based on their needs and priorities. Mean as adjective, inferior in quality, poor or low in value, unkind, spiteful, or malicious in behavior or character. Despite his mean appearance, he had a kind heart. The bullies were known for their mean behavior towards other students. The old car was in mean condition and needed extensive repairs. She gave him a mean look after his rude remark. His mean comments hurt her feelings. Geometry is noun, a branch of mathematics that deals with the properties, measurement, and relationships of points, lines, angles, surfaces, and solids in space. The study of shapes, sizes, and configurations, as well as the principles governing their spatial relationships and transformations. Geometry helps us understand the spatial relationships between objects and the properties of geometric figures. The study of geometry has practical applications in fields such as engineering, architecture, and computer graphics. In geometry class, students learn about concepts such as points, lines, planes, and angles. The architect used principles of geometry to design the building's floor plan and structural framework. She struggled with geometry proofs, but excelled at solving geometric problems involving shapes and measurements. Calculus as noun. A branch of mathematics that deals with rates of change and accumulation, using derivatives and integrals. A particular method or system of calculation or reasoning. The company used a complex calculus to determine the optimal pricing strategy for its products. She struggled with the calculus problems, but eventually grasped the concepts after additional practice. The calculus of probabilities plays a key role in statistical analysis and decision-making. Calculus is widely used in physics, engineering, economics, and other fields to model and analyze real-world phenomena. In calculus class, students learn about functions, limits, derivatives, and integrals. Analysis as noun. The process of examining something in detail in order to understand it or explain it. The study of the components of a substance or compound to understand its nature or characteristics. The literary analysis of the novel explored its themes and symbolism. The data analysis revealed interesting patterns in consumer behavior. The forensic analysis of the evidence helped solve the crime. Chemical analysis of the water samples detected high levels of contaminants. The economic analysis of the market indicated potential areas for growth. Algebra as noun. A branch of mathematics that deals with symbols and the rules for manipulating those symbols to solve equations and analyze mathematical relationships. A system of mathematical notation and symbols representing quantities and operations. The use of algebra is essential in solving complex mathematical problems in various fields such as physics, engineering, and economics. The algebraic expression x plus 3, x, 2, represents the area of a rectangle with length x plus 3 and width x, 2. Algebra provides a framework for describing and analyzing mathematical relationships, making it a powerful tool in scientific research. She struggled with understanding algebraic concepts, but eventually mastered them through dedicated practice and study. Students learn about variables, equations, and functions in their algebra class. Logic as noun. A system or set of principles underlying reasoning and inference, often used to reach conclusions or solve problems. The science or study of reasoning, argumentation, and inference. Logical reasoning is essential in critical thinking and problem-solving across various disciplines. The lawyer presented a flawless argument based on impeccable logic, convincing the jury of her client's innocence. Everyday decision-making often relies on informal logic, such as weighing pros and cons or making inferences based on evidence. The philosopher explored the intricacies of modal logic, delving into the nature of possibility and necessity. In mathematics, students learn about propositional logic and predicate logic as foundational concepts. Statistics as noun. Numerical facts or data representing various aspects of a population, system, or phenomenon, often presented in the form of tables, charts, or graphs. The practice or science of collecting, analyzing, interpreting, and presenting numerical data, especially for the purpose of making informed decisions or drawing conclusions about a population or phenomenon. The statistics revealed a correlation between education level and income. The statistics showed a decrease in crime rates compared to the previous year. She studied statistics in college to learn how to analyze data for scientific research. He cited statistics from reputable sources to support his argument during the debate. The government agency collects statistics on employment, demographics, and economic indicators. Theorem as verb. To establish a proposition as true through deductive reasoning or demonstration. To formulate or prove a theorem, especially in mathematics or logic. The scientists theoremed a new theorem that challenged previously accepted laws of physics. The students were tasked with theoreming various geometric principles in their geometry class. The philosopher theoremed a compelling argument for the existence of free will. The mathematician spent years working to theorem the hypothesis he had proposed. She theoremed a groundbreaking solution to the problem that had perplexed her colleagues for decades. Probability as noun. A mathematical measure representing the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes to the total number of possible outcomes in a given situation. The likelihood or chance of a particular event or outcome occurring. The statistical measure of the likelihood of an event happening. Meteorologists use weather models to calculate the probability of rain or sunshine on a given day. Risk analysts assess the probability of different scenarios to determine potential outcomes and plan accordingly. In gambling, understanding probability can help players make informed decisions about their bets. The probability of rolling a 6 on a fair six-sided die is 1/6, or approximately 16.67%. The probability of winning the lottery is extremely low, but many people still participate in hopes of a big payout. Constant as adjective. A value that does not change, especially in mathematics or science. Something that remains unchanged or continuous over time. Her constant complaining is really getting on my nerves. The company's profits have been in a constant state of decline for the past few years. He is a constant presence in my life, always offering support and guidance. The constant hum of traffic outside my window makes it hard to sleep. The team's success was due in part to their constant communication and collaboration. Mean as noun. A method or way of doing something, a manner or mode. The mathematical average of a set of numbers. In statistics, the mean is often used to measure central tendency. The mean of 5, 7, and 9 is 7. She calculated the mean of the test scores to determine the class average. The word love can have various meanings depending on context and interpretation. He spoke with a harsh mean, causing some discomfort among the listeners. Integer as noun. A member of the set of positive whole numbers, their negatives, and zero. A whole number, either positive, negative, or zero, that does not have a fractional or decimal part. The sum of two integers is always another integer. 5, -3, 0 are all examples of integers. -10, 20, -7 are also integers. In mathematics, integers are often denoted by the symbol. Integers can be used to represent quantities such as the number of people in a room, the temperature in degrees Celsius, or the score in a game. Topology is noun. The branch of mathematics concerned with the properties of geometric figures that remain unchanged when subjected to continuous deformations, such as stretching or bending. The study of the properties and relationships of geometric shapes and spaces that are preserved under continuous transformations. Mathematicians use topology to investigate abstract spaces and their fundamental properties. The study of knot theory is a fascinating area of topology, exploring the properties of tangled loops in space. Topology provides tools for understanding the structure of complex networks, such as social networks and the internet. In topology, a circle and a square are considered equivalent because one can be deformed into the other without tearing or cutting. The concept of a Mobius strip is a classic example in topology, demonstrating properties such as non-orientability. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.